Welcome to the Get Your Act Together podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Reynolds. And today I wanted to share with you something that occurred to me the other day that it just made a whole lot of things make a whole lot of sense. So when I talk to someone about systems and processes that is not like an ops nerd person, they don't love SOPs like I do. There can be this huge resistance around creating systems and writing things down. And it's usually accompanied by a lot of eye rolling at me, maybe some whining about how they don't want to do this. And in my mind, I could never really understand why. Why wouldn't you want your business to have things in place that made it more efficient, right? Why wouldn't you want everything to run better? I love that. I love the trains running on time. But they see systems as bureaucracy. And when I understood that, I understood the resistance. Because bureaucracy is known for its many layers of people and sometimes very useless processes that make things slow and frustrating. It is known for wasting time. Think DMV, IRS, all the places you have to fill out a billion forms and stand in line and wait for people to answer you, that you never feel like they're actually answering you, and all of that, right? That like ridiculous process where you just feel like you are just wasting your time. Now, who wants that in their business? Who wants that? Who wants their business to feel like the DMV? It's the thing I get itchy about myself when I am working with other clients who love meetings. Lots and lots of meetings for absolutely no reason beyond the fact that there's meetings. Like they want to have meetings scheduled because it makes them feel better. And I hate this. I hate it. I love a good meeting to get things moving forward. I hate meetings for the sake of meetings. And it gets me itchy. It's that corporatiness that I don't love. I don't love at all. And when I work with clients like that, I start to get a little itchy about it. And it's why I love working with startups. They are nimble. They make quick decisions. But that startup feel isn't just about being nimble. It's about feeling like anything is possible. And me telling them to write things down and decide on processes means that they feel like they're losing that sense of adventure and possibility. But what I want to argue here today is, in fact, the systems are what keep that sense of adventure and possibility alive. Because chaos doesn't scale. I say it all the time. It is the truth. Chaos doesn't scale. You cannot take a bumbling mess of all these things that are going crazy and think that you can get bigger with that. Everything will break. And when there is stress and chaos because things are a mess and take forever to get done, there is no room for the creativity to happen. So when you spend a whole day in useless meetings or answering the same questions over and over again, you are stuck looking for information because nothing is organized and time is wasted. And that is bureaucracy. It's time wasted. If instead things were set up to be easy to find, not just for you, but for your team, so that finding info is quick and there weren't so many questions all the time, you could have all that time back to be creative and to have that sense of adventure. Okay? So what you need is systems that are organized and efficient to save you time and to give you that time to be creative and grow. Okay? Because without them, your whole day, your whole week just gets blocked up with nonsense, wasting time. And that is why you feel like that bureaucracy. You feel like you're wasting time. Let me show you examples, okay? So if it's, let's say, a bureaucratic system example is like a 10-point process to get something approved. We've all been there, usually with government, but I've been there in business too. Some of the old banks were very much like this when I worked there. You had to have a certain form, which you had to go figure out what form it was first. Then you had to get the form. Then you had to fill it out. Oh, wait, you had to print it first. Then you had to fill it out. Then you had to fill it out only in black ink, not blue, because who knows why. And then it must be submitted to an email address, a specific email address that you're not sure where it is, but you have to find that out. Then that email address is only monitored once in a while. So then you've got to follow up and follow up and follow up to try to get an answer. Then that person has to take all the details from the paper form that you have had to scan and email to someone and type everything into their system, where then that gets sent to another person to approve it, who then, of course, can't approve anything by themselves. So they have to then send it to somebody else to have it approved. And then finally, they send you a message that says, your whatever is approved. This can take forever. Not only the actual act of like printing things out and filling things in and scanning this in and emailing, but like the waiting for like all of the approvals. You know, like this is like trademarks. I'm going through trademarks right now. It's been 1.5 years and they're still like chugging through systems. I'm still waiting for answers. Like everything takes forever. But what if instead you looked at that process? You said, okay, we need this information that is on the form, and we need this person to approve it. Even if you actually need 2 people to approve it, fine. How do we get that done, be efficient, and not waste so much time? The first thing that pops in my head is like Airtable. If you were here for episode with Anna Natkins, we talked a little bit about that because we nerded out a bit. Airtable is like a database form, but you can also do this with Google. You can do this with a lot of places, but Airtable seems to be the place I love going for. So in theory, I need to get information into a system and it needs to get approved by people. You can have that person, instead of printing out the form, filling it out, scanning it, emailing it, enter all of that information into the form. It goes right into the system, have an automation set up to send a Slack message to the person who is supposed to be approving it. They go, oh, there. They go in, hit approve. Then the next person gets a Slack notification that the first one approved it, and they approve. This can take like 10 minutes. 10 minutes in total. You don't have to print. You don't have to waste paper. You don't have to waste all of that time. Now, you're not having someone write all the information down and then enter all the information down. And then all of this is time saved. And I know this seems like a ridiculous, maybe not so ridiculous. It doesn't actually seem like a ridiculous example because we do this all the time. Government agencies, we fill out forms all the time, right? IRS, hello? So just being able to have that information input into the system and take out 5 steps and then have people approve those steps almost instantly with a notification instead of them having to like wait and try to go in and hoping that they've gone and checked that email that day. That means that all that time and paper that we have now saved can be used to be creative. It can be used to go build something. It can be used to market. It can be used for anything. All that information is now where it needs to be. You have exactly what you needed, but you have so much time back. And it's all organized. And people can access it. It's a miracle. Okay, let me give you another example. How much time do you spend answering questions? And I don't mean like different questions. I mean the same ones, the same questions over and over again. When we onboard someone, we have an onboarding process and we have folders and SOPs, which I know everyone goes, oh, but listen to me, hear me out, trust me on this. When you have all of that knowledge there, how to track time if you need to, how to enter things in, how to enter billings into our system, how to track tasks, where you should be checking things, all of that kind of stuff. Like when you have all whatever the questions are that I got every time someone started with us, I created some kind of documentation and put it in that folder. Then when they start, they're real excited, so they want to get going. They're going to look through all of that and be raring to go. And when they start, they're going to know what's going on. And then if they have a question, great, I can answer that question. But I don't have to answer the 20 questions before that every single other person asked me. So every time we hire someone, they ask a question the other 20 didn't think of. And I can answer that and then put that in there as well. Then we have an ops dashboard. I've talked about this a number of times. You guys, I love talking about these things. The dashboard is all about having somewhere where all of the information lives. This is our central, it's our signature service at this point, this Get Your Act Together dashboard. Everything goes there. When your team needs something, they go there to look for things. Someone's out sick, they go there. They can find everything. All the SOPs are there. There's videos on how to do things. There's links to the sheet you need or the website you need, whatever. Everything is one place. And what that does is it encourages my team to go look in those places first. They know that there is a place to go look so that they can find answers. And then, one, they don't have to feel like they're bothering me because they are working on a weird hour, because I have contractors. They work all when their schedule allows. So they, at 10 o'clock at night, if they're trying to catch up on work because they were at their kid's soccer game that day, they can go in there and find the answer without feeling like they have to bother me. I don't have to answer the same 12 questions over and over again. So it seems like bureaucracy to have all these layers of instructions, but it's so much easier. I don't have to stand there. I don't have to be there all the time answering these questions, helping out, figuring things out. That is how I have made a very self-sufficient team. That is how we've gotten away from so many meetings, because I don't have to be there to answer the questions. Now, am I always here if they need me? Of course I am. But there's a lot less back and forth now, because I've given them information and I encourage them to go look for it first. I'm going to give you one last example. How much time do you spend looking for things? How much of your day do you look for things? The contracts for a client, the links you need to enter to, be on a podcast. Like when you apply to be on the podcast here, I ask for a headshot and a bio and a link to all the socials and your website and all that kind of stuff. Where is that? Where is somebody says, oh, I want to get on a call with you. You have to go find the Acuity link to schedule a call so you can send that over. Or the sales page. What if someone's like, I'd really like to hear about your process. Can you give the link real quick? Or do you have to go to your own website and pull the link from your own website to be able to send that information? All of these little things add up. They do. Forget about asking questions of your team or following up on them. That's not even what I'm talking about, but that's a whole nother story. I'm talking about finding out your Instagram link so that you can send it to someone because they want to share something or they want to, connect with you. That is our URL sheet. We have a master URL template that we use in our business. I use it every day. I have it as a Chrome favorites. I click on that. I can get a link to hundreds of different things probably at this point. It's grown in seconds. Click on that, pull the thing. I can copy and paste all the links I need to an application in seconds. And it has saved me so much time and just ease from not having to go there, go look for things, log into my own website to get the link for my podcast. It's Reynolds OBM /podcast. But then you need the HTTP, and I never remember if it's a colon or I don't know, but I don't have to. I just go over there and I copy and paste it. This is part of our process for Get Your Act Together when we are setting up systems for our clients. This is a major template, and it seems like a simple, basic thing, but it is the thing I use every day. I find that and the ops dashboard, the Get Your Act Together dashboard, are the two main things I use all the time that save me an enormous amount of time. Either for myself, because I don't know what the hell my Instagram link is, or for my team so they can find things so they don't have to keep asking me what my Instagram link is. If you want a copy of our master URL template, we have made it available. You can find it on the show notes for this podcast. It's episode 120. So reynoldsobm.com/podcast to go to episode 120. And there is a link there for our master URL template. And basically what it is a spreadsheet with different places to put all of your links, all of your website pages, your sales pages, whatever it is, the links to all of your appointments, if you're going to schedule a podcast interview or if you're going to schedule a call or a discovery call, all of those things, I have all of them on there. The link to my Zoom, my personal Zoom meeting link, whatever you call that, that's on there. There's just a ton of things. My Venmo QR code to pay on there. The link to pay for things on there. I just added a tab to have all of my URLs because I've been on a domain buying spree lately for reasons that are Who knows? But I've bought a lot of domains lately. I have them all on there when they review where they are, where did I buy them, but I buy them at Namecheap or wherever, so I can find things. So it really becomes the URL thing. And when you are doing a launch, it's super helpful because I have a tab just for like Get Your Agency Together, the group coaching program, and it has the links to everything. So the sales page, the whatever list, the this and the that, the freebie, the all the workbooks that are in there, like whatever that is, it's all on this sheet. So I use it all the time, and I thought it was really super helpful, and that you guys could really benefit from it. So it is reynoldsobm.com/podcast. Go to 120, and we will put it in the show notes, and it's free because, well, it'll save you a lot of time, and you need that. So I want you to realize that even if you're not an ops nerd person, systems are going to help you. And I don't want you to think that they are bureaucratic, that they are a time waster. They are the anti-bureaucratic thing. They are the thing that is going to save you that time. They are going to save you that money of paying a VA to go look for things all the time when you could just have them go to one place and look for 5 seconds. It's not just your time you're wasting. You're paying for someone else's time wasted if you're paying them per hour, by the way, just so you know. The longer they take to do things, the more money you have to pay. So if you can be more efficient, it goes across the board. It goes on all different parts of your business that will help you save that time and money. So systems, I know I talk about them a lot, and it has really become my mission because so many businesses are so inefficient and they lose money, and it drives me crazy. It really bothers me because most of us are building businesses so that we can take care of our families, and a lot of those businesses don't make any money, and that really bothers me because there's a lot of hardworking people out there that are trying their best. So if I can help you be a little bit more efficient, go get the master URL template. And if you want to talk about organizing more, reach out to me. You can book a call on our website. So get the template, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me this week. If you have an agency or want to create one, come join my Facebook community, Get Your Agency Together, where we talk all the things growing and scaling your agency. For show notes and more info on all the things, head over to reynoldsobm.com. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Reynolds OBM. And finally, if you enjoy this podcast, I would love for you to give us a review on iTunes.